Hi, everyone. Welcome back to The Torch. I'm Jake,
And I'm Kimberly.
and we are reporting to you live from our apartments because of coronavirus.
Yes, we are not in the same studio that we normally are in, but we can still see each other thanks to the amazing advancements of video technology.
Yeah. This is our first webcam formatted podcast episode. So hopefully the quality isn't too distracting for you guys. We like to give you a nice clean recording every time, but desperate times call for desperate measures.
Not exactly how we thought we were going to be kicking off season 2, right, Jake?
No, yeah, we had been meeting for a while, talking about all the things that we wanted to talk about in our second season, and then things happened the way that they're happening, and now we've decided to sort of pivot. The Torch has always been a podcast about and for small businesses and entrepreneurs, and we didn't want to change that, but we also didn't want to be tone deaf to the things that were going on. So it's going to be the same but different. At least for this season, we will still be talking about things that are relevant to small businesses and entrepreneurs, but we're focusing on how can BBB serve as a resource for small businesses and entrepreneurs to help them navigate the rocky waters that we find ourselves in.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you might notice in our unexpected season 2 of The Torch is that we are going to be doing less interviews with guests because of logistics. And you'll also notice that many of the episodes are a lot shorter than what you're used to. But the purpose behind that is that Jake and I really want to get you, business owners and all the entrepreneurs who listen, resources as fast as we can. So even though our episodes are going to be shorter this season, we're going to be recording more of them in an effort to let you know about different resources that are available to you as an entrepreneur. So some of them will be free, some of them will be very low cost, and we're going to try and cover a variety of topics and share those resources with you after the show as well, maybe in the show notes or on our BBB website. That was awkward how I said that.
No,
So what
I thought it
so what you'll know
landed.
so what you'll notice is this season
We're
is
getting used to bantering through a camera right now. It's not awkward's not the word, but it's not exactly smooth sailing.
yeah. No, but luckily we both have very good internet connections right now, so I don't see or hear any but I guess that's kind of a fun thing, Jake. What's it like working from Jake's house right now?
My apartment is basically a co-working space for the people in my life because my girlfriend, she is a master's student, and now all of ASU's classes are online. So now she works out of my apartment. She doesn't want to spend all of her time alone at her apartment because all of her roommates are at home. So she's here all the time. On top of that, my roommate just got the go ahead to work from home. He's a video game tester, and finally, we have a new puppy that we got about a week ago, and she's actually been like it's like stressful raising a new puppy, but since like we have the ability to just be here all the time, I feel like she's like getting like the potty training and all that stuff like quicker than she normally would have, just because we're constantly able to like watch her. So that's been great. But in terms of like work, it's made things easier in some areas and tougher in other areas. Easier because I don't have a commute. We none of us have commutes anymore.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's saved us some time in just our day and given us more time in our lives. But we can't do anything with that time besides stay at home. Working from home has also made it a little bit more tough because when you're in the office, there's like an immediacy to contacting people. And yes, while people are kind of sitting in front of their computers and can be reached by IM or webcam, pretty quickly anyways, like that like lack of personal connection kind of takes you out of the work just a little bit. So that's something to acknowledge.
I notice one of the things that makes it trickier working from home, and again, we're really fortunate because I realize that a lot of people right now are not able to work at all. Some folks are being furloughed, a lot of people are being laid off. So we're just sharing our perspective, obviously, of working from home. But I have noticed that my days have been busier than normal, which I didn't think was possible. But like you said, Jake, because of all of the video calls and phone calls now, that everything has, moved to that, and it's more structured and normal. Before I stopped, and vice versa. Now I have to schedule a specific time. I find myself in meetings for 7 or even full 8 hours every day lately. So that's a challenge. And working remotely it's not all kittens and rainbows, or puppies, I guess, in your case, and rainbows. There's definitely a learning curve, and I think you can increase productivity in some areas, and this definitely applies to business owners, right? You might be able to get leaner and become more productive in some areas, but there's obviously the trade-off is there's some challenges and some ways that you will be maybe stunted or slowed down in the business during this time. So just acknowledging that. But before I forget, while we're on the topic of remote work, Jake, I want to share the first resource, because this company that I'm about to share with you is an amazing company as well. And I believe they have the bandwidth to sponsor the Torch. So if they are listening, they are also able to become an official sponsor of the Torch. But Zapier is a company that I've followed for a few years. They're amazing. It's spelled Zapier. Zapier rhymes with happier. They are a software company, and basically they are all about productivity for business owners and employees. So they create API connections that you can hook up your different softwares that you use, and it basically automates. So it's an automation tool for your business, and you can automate workflows, really mundane tasks, and you can automate things. And how you do this is by making recipes. That's what it's called with Zapier. And you basically can hook up, let's say, your Google Calendar to your Gmail, and you can basically set these recipes so that when an email comes in, it triggers it automatically to put it on your calendar. Or if someone sends you an attachment, it triggers it to automatically save into your Google Drive. Like, there's all these really cool hookups. So Zapier is a really cool company that I've used and I've followed for many years. And the other really amazing thing to note about Zapier is not only are they a productivity company, but their entire workforce is remote to begin with. So they have employees that work all around the country and world. So they put out really cool content every week on their blog about tips for how you can become more productive. And in the past, they would occasionally put out content about how you can be productive if you're a remote worker. But now, in light of the COVID-19 crisis and pandemic, they've really upped their kind of ownership and expertise in the area of working from home, and they're authoring lots of cool white papers and new blog posts, and they're sharing all these resources completely for free on their website and on their blog to help you and your team transition to remote working. So the first resource I wanted to share today on our inaugural episode of season 2 is Zapier.com, and specifically, very time sensitive, they have a cool webinar coming up on April 3rd at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And the name of this webinar is Suddenly Remote Starter Kit. So it is going to be less than an hour. It's free to attend. And basically, they're going to cover success strategies for when you're remote working, how you can run your team communication. And they're also going to talk about things that people forget when you shift to remote working in a hurry, which like all of us have done. And they're going to share some of their recipes to help you create some basic automations in your workflow. And if you register, you'll also receive a free ebook from them. And even if you can't attend the webinar, if you register, you'll get a recording of it. So if you just go to Zapier.com, you can find this information. And again, it's spelled Zapier. I'm definitely going to be signing up. I'm not sure that I can listen to it live, but I'll play back the recording. And I love getting a free ebook. So that's the other reason I'm signing up.
Wow, that's like a ton of like free stuff. I didn't
Yeah.
expect that much when you said you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I think that's the really like the silver lining of everything that's happening right now is a lot of these tech companies are giving resources for free or highly discounted, and just lots of other companies and businesses. But Zapier's always been really cool in that their blog and a lot of their resources are free to begin with, and they have a freemium model too. So of course, with any of these companies, they have paid levels, but you can do some basic automations completely for free. You just have to create a free account, and it's super simple. But yeah, I love seeing some of these companies step up and give a lot of free resources at this time. And especially a company like this, right? That's why I'm psyched about this one, is because they aren't just building the plane as they fly. They're already the experts on remote work. Their whole team, hundreds of employees, work remotely. So they are the experts and we can all learn from them. So why not take advantage of their free resources? Just check out Zapier.com to find out more about the webinar on April 3rd or to get a copy of the recording. And also just recommend looking at their blog. They send out one email a day and they have amazing tips. I really love their blog. It's probably the best blog I read, honestly. It's just very valuable information, and it's very tactical about how you can become more productive, and management tips as well. They share management tips a whole lot, and so there's a lot of really cool stuff. So check out the Zapier website. I know there's another website Jake wants to share with everybody.
Yes, it's actually our website. We, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, obviously we understand that it's had a huge impact on, the way we live and especially the way we work. The economy is seeing a hit from it. We know that is causing, certain anxieties in the business community. So BBB really wants to be a resource for the business community. That is why we put together a website that can help you get the information that you need to, weather these stormy seas. If you go to bbb.org/coronavirus-business, the website has resources by location. There are also specific resources for small businesses. There's this really great quick action guide that's available. It just is there for you as an organization to really think through your processes and how you want to respond to COVID-19. There are links to pertinent websites that will keep you up to date on necessary information going through the COVID-19 pandemic. We are linking you to the CDC, we're linking you to the World Health Organization, OSHA. There's also information about SBA. So if you have some time and you want to get some free, great curated information about how your business can navigate these trying times, please go to bbb.org/coronavirus-business.
Yeah, I think that's a great resource, Jake. Thanks for sharing that. And please know that BBB will be constantly updating this website every single day, pretty much, with resources as they're made available. I know that in a future episode, we're going to walk you through the SBA loan process a bit more. It's very complicated, but we're encouraging small businesses to really consider applying for that loan, especially with the new bill that was passed into law last week, towards the end of March. There are a lot of great resources that are now part of that law that business owners and entrepreneurs should definitely take advantage of. So we can go more in depth on that, but for the time being, check out our curated list on our BBB website. It's a great jumping off point, and we've done a really meticulous job of curating that content for you. Speaking of curated content, our team here in the Pacific Southwest is really proud that we are now putting out a daily email to all of our accredited businesses. Again, people are getting just completely overwhelmed with emails and resources and information at this time. And so our team is combing through all of these resources every single morning and finding the top stories for you and your business. And we're sending those out every single afternoon. So it's a pretty simple read. And because we serve California and Arizona, we're sending out usually 2 articles per day with resources from each state, as well as some national resources and some productivity tips in every email too, so that you can become an expert on managing your teams remotely or in a socially distant way if you're deemed essential during this time. So again, check that out. It's a great resource. And last but not least, we wanted to bring your attention to the webinars. So on top of all of these resources we've listed, our BBB is extremely proud to be hosting a daily webinar, which is a ton of work. Our team is really working around the clock to make this happen. And we know it's important for business owners because it is a very anxious time and you want to learn and implement best practices as quickly as you can, since so many of our businesses are in survival mode right now. So we want to put experts and resources in front of you every single day. So if you go to bbb.org, it will automatically geolocate you if you're in California, if you're in Arizona, and then you'll just go to the top and click down on events. There you will see updated every single day our upcoming webinars, and these webinars are free and open to the public. And I did just want to bring up a few of the awesome speakers that we have this week. So on Thursday, we have a session that we're kind of branding as Thursday Think Tanks. And the topic this Thursday is how to maintain productivity in a remote environment. Again, we're so focused right now on productivity, and I think it's important because there's a lot to do. In some senses, there's more to do now than ever. So being productive and efficient is really important. So listen in on that webinar on Thursday. That one's at 11 a.m. And then Friday, April 3rd, if you're going to listen to the Zapier one, you might as well also listen to our BBB webinar that day. Fridays are financial Fridays for us. We're going to talk about payroll taxes in 2020 beyond the pandemic, because we know, the whole tax season has been shifted and there's a lot of alterations. So listen in on that. We have two amazing folks presenting on payroll taxes this Friday. So every Friday will be Financial Friday. And that's so important right now to business owners, entrepreneurs. Finances are really the peak of everyone's anxiety. So we want to make sure that we're bringing you timely resources. And if you find a topic you love, but you're unable to sit in because we know you're busy running your business, please know that we are recording every single webinar and we'll be hosting them on our website and on our YouTube. So you can go back and replay it. Yesterday, we had an amazing webinar that our partners at Coastal Payroll put on, and they talked all about this new law that was just passed, the Relief Act, and it was incredibly informative because they broke down key areas of the new law for business owners. So I recommend going back and listening to that one. And again, you can find it on bbb.org and on our YouTube.
Yes, and the link to our YouTube, if you go to youtube.com/theazbbb, you will be able to pull up a list of all of our past webinars. So yeah, those are great free resources. I've listened to a couple of them. They're very informative, and the quality of speakers is really great. I have to give it to you and your team, Kimberly, for finding and curating that list of speakers.
Thank you. Yeah, we're super lucky. We have so many amazing people on our board of directors and just in our business network, the Better Business Bureau. We are here to help people build better businesses. We've always talked about that, but it's really serious right now. And so being able to activate some of these heavy hitters, like yesterday, Jonathan Gallagher from Coastal Payroll, he is a huge resource. He's incredibly intelligent and well-informed when it comes to the payroll process. Having his expertise for that hour is like invaluable. So go back and listen to that one. Check it out for sure. So Jake, question for you.
Yes, Kimberly, let's do it again. Sorry.
So Jake.
Yeah.
Question. Hey Jake.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Go for it.
I am wondering if I have questions, like really specific business questions, or if I have ideas of what I would find helpful on this podcast. How do I tell you or Kimberly?
Well, if you are burning to send us a question or give us a suggestion, which we are completely open to receiving, you can send that to the Torch Podcast at bbbcommunity.org. Don't be afraid of the long email address.
So long.
That's just how we do it at BBB.
So it's the Torch Podcast at bbbcommunity.org.
Yes, yes. So yeah, send any of your questions, suggestions, tips. If you maybe want to be a speaker for our webinar series, feel free to reach out there. So BBB is striving to be a true resource for people during these trying times. And we just want to let you know that we're here to listen to you, and we're here to give you all of the information that we can, all of the correct and relevant information that we can. And if we can't, we are here to point you in the direction of those who can.
Absolutely. BBB's always been a trusted resource, and we want you as a business owner and a consumer to rely on us during these trying times. So please visit us at bbb.org. Continue to listen to and subscribe to The Torch. Again, we'll be putting out short episodes, and we'll continue to give you resources and share our curated tips and information during this time so that you can continue to build a better business for yourself and for generations to come.
Awesome. Stay safe, everyone.
Stay healthy, stay socially distant.
Socially distant and coronavirus free.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.
See you on the flippity flip.
Hasta mañana.
Adios.